Hey everybody, welcome to Fenway Park for another game of Payoff pitch baseball. With the World Series going on, I thought I would kind of go backwards and replay opening day 1977 here at Fenway. The visiting Cleveland Indians come to town and provide the opposition. And let's meet our starting pitchers for today's ball game. For the Red Sox, they just acquired him in a trade in the offseason from the Texas Rangers, and it'll be Fergie Jenkins, Ferguson Jenkins, starting for the Red Sox. And starting for the Cleveland Indians, he would later become a Red Sox, and then later on in Oakland A, it is Dennis Eckersley. So we're ready to go here. This is going to be the dice version of Payoff pitch baseball here from Fenway. And let's meet our starting lineups for today's game. First, for the Cleveland Indians, leading off and playing center field is Rick Manning. Batting second and playing second base is Dwayne Kuiper. Hitting third and playing in right field is Jim Norris. Batting cleanup, the veteran Rico Cardi as the DH. Hitting fifth, playing first base, Big Andre Thornton. Hitting in the sixth position, but I don't have a card for him, is Bill Melton, the third baseman. Batting seventh and playing left field is Buddy Bell. He started the season in left field, and then when they released Melton, they moved Buddy Bell to third, and that's where he stayed. But in this game, he's in left field. Batting eighth and catching, and he's fully recovered, or at least partially recovered, from getting run over by Pete Rose. It is Ray Fosse. That was 7 years ago. And then batting ninth and playing shortstop is Frank Duffy. So there are the Cleveland Indians for their starting lineup. Now let's go to the starting lineup of the Boston Red Sox. Leading off at shortstop is the Rooster, Rick Burleson. Batting second, playing second base is Denny Doyle. Hitting third and playing in right field is Jim Rice. Batting cleanup and playing in left field today is Carl Yastrzemski. Hitting fifth, playing first base, the Boomer, George Scott. Batting sixth and the designated hitter is Bernie Carbo. Batting seventh and playing center field because Fred Lynn is on the disabled list, and that would be Dewey Evans. Batting eighth and catching is Carlton Fisk. And batting ninth and playing third base is Butch Hobson. And these are the actual starting lineups from opening day 1977. So we are ready to go here from Boston. And it's going to be Fergie Jenkins facing Rick Manning to start things off. This is the dice version. So I'm going to be rolling the dice here. And what I'd like to do sometimes is roll the D6s first, figure out where on the pitcher card we are, and then kind of gets a little drama to add for the batter card. So here we go. First pitch of the game of the season in 1977. Fergie Jenkins firing to Rick Manning. And we get a 3. So a 3 on Fergie Jenkins. We got defense right away. So we will be consulting the charts right off the bat. So the defense, to figure out which defender we're looking at, we're going to roll the 2D10s. 2D10s come up as a 37 because I roll the black as the 10s, the white as the 1s. That's a 37. So on the defensive chart, 37, we're going to check an error rating of the pitcher. So it's a comebacker to Fergie Jenkins, and we're going to find out whether he can handle it or not. Fergie Jenkins, with his card, defensively, he is a fielder B. So we go to Fenway Park and look at he's a fielder 2 on his error check. B is his range, 2 is his error. So we go to error number 2, and we got a 1 to 67 will be an error on Fergie Jenkins. So it's very possible that he will boot this. Let's see. He does. It's a 56, so that is going to be an error. Now we're going to roll the 2d6s to find out if it's a 1-base error or a 2-base error. The roll is a 7, so we go to our error chart under pitcher, number 7, and that is a 1-base error. So Rick Manning is aboard on an E1, So not the way that Fergie Jenkins would want to start this game, but he is aboard on an E1, and that'll bring up light-hitting second baseman Dwayne Kuiper. So Kuiper, in fact, I'll go ahead and roll all four together. Why not? All right, here we go. It is an 8 on the 2d6s, and an 8 is in play off of Fergie. And we get a 38. In play, Kuiper 38 against a right-hander. His in play only goes to 31. So we come down here to 38. It's a ground ball back to Fergie Jenkins. So he's getting all kinds of action going on here. Is it a double play or not? Let's find out. An 8. 8 on the double play rating for Fergie Jenkins. He's a 7, so it's not going to be a double play. It will just be a fielder's choice, which means he will throw over to second base and take care of the lead runner Manning. We'll call it 1-6 of Burleson covering, and Kuiper gets on the fielder's choice. Now, had the 2d6s been an 11 or a 12, then the rule says that the runner would have advanced and Fergie would have thrown to first. But since it was less than 11, or I believe it's less than 10, I have to double check, but 8 definitely is less, so it becomes a fielder's choice at that point. All right, third hitter in the order is Jim Norris, the right fielder, with Kuiper now at first base and 1 out. And we got a 6 again, so that's in play. And we have a 34. In play, 34 for Jim Norris. Again, that is out of range against the righty. So the 34 is a pop-up to the second baseman. So he will pop it up to Denny Doyle for out number 2. 2 down, runner still at first, and Rico Carty, the designated hitter, steps to the plate with Kuiper still at first base. And we get a 9 this time. 9 is tough for Fergie, or Fergie. And we get a 37. So Rico Carty, tough 37. That's a base hit. Tough 37 is a base hit for Rico Carty. And since that roll, or the base hit, was on the tough result, the lead runner only, or the runners only go 1 base. So Kuiper will stop at second. 2 down, 2 on, and first baseman Big Andre Thornton with a chance to give the Indians an early lead. We got a 4. 4 is in the wheelhouse. In the wheelhouse, and we have a 48. Andre Thornton, wheelhouse versus right-handed pitching. 1-74 is a home run. So Andre Thornton has just hit a 3-run homer. 3-run home run for Andre Thornton. All runs unearned because of the error on Fergie Jenkins. But the Indians will take it. It is a 3-0 ball game just like that. And now Bill Melton, the third baseman, is up with 2 outs and the base is empty, as they put a jolt into Fergie Jenkins, thanks to Big Andre Thornton. We got a 2. A 2 is ballpark, and it's a 70. Ballpark 70. Ballpark 70 with a right-handed batter up is going to be in the wheelhouse. 1-97 is a wheelhouse at bat. So we're going to check Bill Melton's wheelhouse. He didn't do very well. 1-8 is a double, 9-23 is a single. Anything else will be an out. So let's see what the 2D10s have to say about it. It's a 93. 93 is going to be a fly ball to left, and the inning will be over. But the Indians pick up a 3 spot thanks to the power prowess of Big Andre Thornton, his 3-run shot, and Fergie Jenkins does not look happy. But we go to the bottom of the first, and Dennis Eckersley is happy. We go to the bottom of the first to score Indians 3 and the Red Sox coming to bat. Okay, bottom of the first, Rick Burleson stepping in. And even though it's a 3-0 game early, this is Fenway, so a lead is never safe, especially when you still have 9 innings to go. All right, it's the first pitch. It's an 11 for Eckersley, which is defense. The defense check, so we'll pull the defense chart out again. And it's a 12. A 12 on the defensive chart is going to be the range of the second baseman, Dwayne Kuiper. So we'll check Dwayne Kuiper. And Kuiper, on his range, he is a C. He's a C. I'm sorry, he's an F. He's an F with his range. So we go to Fenway Park, Range F, that means a 1 to 59 will be a hit. A 60 to 99 will be an out. So let's see if he gets a hit or not. 59, he got it right on the number. 59 is a base hit for Rick Burleson. Kuiper just couldn't quite get to it. He knocked it down but couldn't make the throw. And the Red Sox have the leadoff runner on for little Denny Doyle. See if he can do something here. Denny Doyle, it's a 7. 7 off of Eckersley is tough. And it's a 12, another 12. So tough 12. Tough 12 for Denny Doyle. Unfortunately for him, it's a strikeout. So Denny Doyle takes the whiff. But now the power hitter is coming up. Jim Rice. Big Jim Rice. And we get a 6, which is in play. And we get a 10. In play 10 for Jim Rice. And that is a triple. 8 to 10 is a triple. So Jim Rice has just tripled into the triangle in right center field. That will score Burleson, and the Red Sox have trimmed into the lead, making it a 3-1 ball game. That'll bring up Carl Yastrzemski, so Yaz with a chance to drive in a run. The Indians will play the infield back. They want to get an out here. They don't want another big inning. Let's see what happens. 7. 7 is tough. Tough 20. Tough 20. Tough 20 is a strikeout. So Eckersley reaching back for a little extra, puts the K on Yastrzemski, and that brings up the boomer, George Scott. He has a chance to tie the ball game with one swing of the bat here, just like Andre Thornton did. See if one first baseman can match the other. We get a 6. 6 is in play for Eckersley, and it's a number 6. 6, 6. In play 6, and George Scott, believe it or not, has tripled to the same center field triangle, and somehow he chugged around the bases and made it to third. Had to be some mishandling of the ball there, but Rice scores, and the Red Sox have cut the lead to 3-2 thanks to 2 triples in the inning. One by George Scott and one by Jim Rice. That brings up Bernie Carbo, most famous for the home run in the 75 series. Still with the Red Sox here in 77. It's a 10. 10 is wheelhouse. 10 is wheelhouse off of Eckersley. And it's a 40. Wheelhouse 40. Wheelhouse 40 for Carbo is a 2-run shot. So the magic of 75 has returned in 77. Carbo has just homered to score Scott and give the Red Sox now a 4-3 lead here in the first inning. And we're in for a Donnybrook, it appears. So now Dwight Evans steps to the plate. The Red Sox with 2 triples and a home run in this inning. Here's Dwight Evans. Evans, a 6. 6 is in play. And a number 6, in play 6, is a double. It's a double for Dwight Evans. It's the only hit the Red Sox have not had. They've had a single, 2 triples, and a homer, and now they have a double. So Eckersley getting abused here. Trying to get out of the first inning. Not looking so happy anymore. Fergie Jenkins is, but not Eckersley. All right, here's Pudge, Carlton Fisk. Runner in scoring position, 2 outs. We got a 9. 9 is patient. And we got another low number, a 0-5. Patient number 5 is a walk. So Pudge Fisk will walk. Puts 2 on. 2 out still. And the 9th man to bat in the order, Butch Hobson, steps to the plate. Runners at first and second, 2 outs. Eckersley really in trouble if he can't get Hobson here. See how it works. 7. 7 is tough. And a 56. That might do it. Tough 56 against Hobson is a strikeout. So Eckersley, around all those hits, actually struck out the side. But he did give up 4 runs. And after 1 inning of play, it's Boston 4 and Cleveland 3. Okay, Fergie Jenkins back on the mound trying to get some semblance of order here. Get some pitching going here. Buddy Bell will lead off for the Indians. Start the second. We have a 6, and a 6 is in play. And we got a 47. In play 47. That's in the out range. That's going to be a pop-up to Burleson at short. So the leadoff batter retired by Fergie Jenkins. So that's a sigh of relief for him, and also for Red Sox manager Don Zimmer. All right, here's Ray Fosse. Ray Fosse. Fosse, a 7. 7 is tough. Tough 21. Tough 21. Tough 21 is a strikeout. So Fosse is retired. 2 away. And that brings up the shortstop, Frank Duffy. Frank Duffy. It's a 5. 5 is patient off of Jenkins. And a 12. Patient and a 12. That was a 2 there. Patient and a 12. Patient 12 is a walk. So Frank Duffy draws a 2-out walk. And you just knew it couldn't be a 1-2-3 inning. That would be too easy. All right, here is Rick Manning. He's reached on that error by Jenkins in the first. Then was cut down on a fielder's choice. Here's 8. 8 is in play. And we got a 10. In play 10. Rick Manning, in play 10 is a base hit. Now, will Duffy go to third? Let's find out. Let's look at runner advancement on the chart for runner advancement. And let's see what we get here. So the low number here was a 3. And it was hit to, let's see, where was it hit to? The base hit, we don't know where it was hit to. We've got to figure out where it was hit. Let's get the hit chart. My bad. I'll get it right here in a minute. The hit chart, an 8. Let's see here. Let me pause while I get this straight. Okay, it really doesn't matter where the hit went. The key is the run rating of Duffy, who is at second base. Since there are 2 outs, if the run rating is higher than 6, he goes an extra base. So Duffy will take third base on the base hit by Rick Manning. So runners are at the corners with 2 outs, and Dwayne Kuiper, the batter. Sorry about that confusion there, but that is the rule, is that if you, let's look at it right here. With 2 outs, runner rated 6 or higher advances 2 bases on a single. So that was the proper way to go with that. All right, Dwayne Kuiper. Runners at first and third, 2 outs for Kuiper. And he rolls a 7 here against Jenkins, which is tough. Tough 29. Tough 29. And Kuiper's going to find his triple. So Kuiper, a 2-run triple. And when Fergie Jenkins thought he was out of it, he may be out of the game because he's getting knocked around here, and the Indians have reclaimed the lead 5-4 after that triple. That's the 3rd triple of the game already. And here's Jim Norris, right fielder. It's a 6. 6 is in play for Fergie. And 41, in play 41 is out of range. 41 is a pop-up to Burleson. So the inning is over, but the Indians pick up 2 runs thanks to that triple by Dwayne Kuiper, the unlikeliest of heroes. And after an inning and a half, it's Cleveland 5 and Boston 4. All right, bottom of the second, Dennis Eckersley going to see if he can't settle things down a little bit. Top of the order, Rick Burleson, as the Red Sox sent 9 batters last inning. They're back to the top of the order. Burleson singled and scored his first time up. It's an 8, and 8 is tough. 8 is tough, and it's a 5. Tough 5 is a strikeout. So Eckersley may be trying to establish something here in the bottom of the second. Gets the strikeout. Here's Denny Doyle. Denny Doyle. Doyle, a 6, is in play. In play, and we got a 14. In play 14 is a base hit for Denny Doyle. So Denny Doyle gets a base hit. He gets in on the act. 1-out single. Now here's Big Jim Rice. He had that big triple his first time up. Jim Rice. It's a 5. 5 is tough on Eckersley. And it's a 96. Tough 96 is a fly ball to left. So Jim Rice not able to do anything with that. Just hit a weak fly ball to Buddy Bell in left. And that'll bring up Yastrzemski with 2 outs and 1 on. Yaz with a chance. Struck out his first time up. See if he can atone for that. It's an 8. 8 is tough. 45. Tough 45 for Yastrzemski. is going to be in the out range. 45 is a pop-up to Frank Duffy at short. So Eckersley pitches out of it when we get a 0 on the board, miraculously. So after 2 complete, it is Cleveland 5 and Boston 4. All right, Zimmer's going to send Jenkins back out there, see if he can't get himself straight. The bullpen may have to start to get busy here. Rico Carty steps up. He singled and scored his first time up. It's a 6. 6 is in play, and it's a 34. In play 34. In play 34 is a ground ball back to Jenkins for 1 away. So Jenkins made the play, 1 away. Now here's Andre Thornton. He had the big 3-run homer his first time up. Jenkins going to see what he can do with that. 7 is tough. We got him in the tough range this time. No home run here. It's a 53. Tough 53. And he struck him out. 1-58 to strikeout. So feast or famine for Andre Thornton as Fergie Jenkins put one by him. And now here's Bill Melton. Melton fly to the left his first time up. 6. 6 is in play. That's a 35. In play 35 is out of range. 35 is a pop-up to Denny Doyle at second. And the 1-2-3 inning for the Indians as the Red Sox fans give a mock cheer for that 1-2-3 inning. And we go to the bottom of the third. Score still, Cleveland 5, Boston 4. All right, Dennis Eckersley back on the mound, and George Scott, the boomer, will step up to the plate. He tripled his first time up. It's a 7. 7 and a 20. 7 and a 20. 7 is tough. Tough 20 is a strikeout. So Eckersley puts the K on George Scott. The boomer got boomed. And now here's Bernie Carbo. He had the big home run first time up. Trying to get that 75 magic going again. But this time we're in the tough range once again. And we're at a 61. Tough 61. Tough 61 is a strikeout. So Eckersley gets the strikeout pitch rolling here. 2 quick outs on strikeouts for Dewey Evans. Dwight Evans, he doubled his first time up. And 11. 11 is defense, and it's a 7. So on the defensive check, a number 7. A number 7 is the range of the second baseman, Dwayne Kuiper. And we've checked that once before. Dwayne Kuiper has an F range, which means 1-59 is going to be a hit. So if he gets a 1-59, Dwight Evans will have himself a base hit. And he does. It's a 22, so it's a base hit for Evans. 2-out single. Brings up Pudge. Carlton Fisk with a chance. We have a 6. 6 is in play. And we have a 13. In play 13 for Fisk. That's a base hit. Base hit for Fisk. Now, Evans, his run rating is a 7, and with 2 outs, he's going to take the extra base. So Fisk, with a single, moves Evans to third. So runners are at the corners with 2 outs for number 9 hitter Butch Hobson. Hobson struck out his first time up, so he's got a chance to redeem himself right here. Base hit would tie the score. We have a 4 and a 32. A 4 and a 32. 4 is in play. In play 32, he just missed it. 30 would have get a hit. 32 is a liner right to Duffy at short. So Hobson lines to Duffy to end the inning. And how about that? We have a complete inning with no score in it. So we go to the 4th. It's still Cleveland 5 and Boston 4. All right, top of the 4th, Fergie Jenkins. Ferguson Jenkins. Coming off that shutout inning, we'll be facing Buddy Bell to start things off. It's a 4. 4 is wheelhouse. 4 found the wheelhouse, but it's a 78. So Buddy Bell's wheelhouse only goes to 43 for a hit. 78 is going to turn into a fly ball to center field. So he got up under it a little bit and hit it right to Evans in center. 1 away, and that'll bring up catcher Ray Fosse. So Ray Fosse struck out his first time up. And Fosse with an 8. 8 is in play. 8 is in play. And we have a 13. In play 13 is a base hit for Ray Fosse. So Fosse gets in on the act. Just about everybody has a hit now, I think. Pretty close to it. All right, here's Frank Duffy. He walked, so he doesn't have a hit, but he did reach base. Here's Frank Duffy. And we get an 88 on the D10, and we get an 8 on the D6. How about that? 8 and 88. 8 is in play. 88, unfortunately, is way out of range. 88's a ground ball to short, but on an 8, that's not going to be a double play because Jenkins only goes to a 7, as does, well, Duffy only goes to a 6. So it's going to be a fielder's choice. Fielder's choice, Duffy will reach. Fosse is out 6-4 for out number 2. And we're back to the top of the order, and Rick Manning. So Rick Manning reached on an error and singled. He's also scored. 3. A 3 is defense. Defense and a 42. Go to our defensive chart to see who we're going to look at here. 42 is an error rating on the first baseman, George Scott. So let's look at George Scott. George Scott, his error rating is a 1. So we go to Fenway Park, error rating number 1, which is the worst there is. So a 1 to 79, he's going to make an error. A 1 to 79 will be an error. And we'll roll the D6s again to see if it's a 2-base error or a 1-base error. It's definitely an error, and it's a 7. A 7. So let's check our error chart. Error chart. First baseman, a 7 is a 1-base error. So it's a 1-base error on the boomer, George Scott, as Rick Manning reaches, and Duffy will go to second base. So an E3, second error of the game for the Red Sox already in just 4 innings. 2 on, 2 out. Dwayne Kuiper, who tripled his last time up, steps to the plate. So 67 on the D10s and a 3 on the D6s. 3 is defense, so we're right back to defense again. A 67, this time 67, is an error check on the third baseman, Hobson. Hobson's error rating is a 2. So we go back to Fenway Park, look at number 2. That's a 1 to 67. So not looking good for the Red Sox again. 1 to 67 will be an error. And it's a 45, so it is an error, and it's an 11. So an error on the third baseman, number 11, is a 1-base error. So back-to-back errors, one by Scott, now one by Hobson, has now loaded the bases with 2 outs. 2 consecutive errors, and that'll bring up Jim Norris. And Fergie Jenkins looking a little chagrined here at his defense. Jim Norris steps up, bases loaded, and 2 outs. 3, and we're under defense again. How do you like that? That's 3 consecutive rolls that rolled a 3. And we got a 75. So defense 75. Defense 75 is an error rating on the shortstop, Burleson. Now, Burleson is an E3. So if we look at the 3, that's a 1 to 51. So if we get a 1 to 51, it'll be another error. 52 or higher, he'll make the play. It's a 50. He just missed it, so it will be another error. It's a 10. It's 10. So error, shortstop 10 is another 1-base error. So 3 consecutive 1-base errors by the Red Sox. 1 by a first baseman, 1 by the third baseman, and now this one by Burleson at short. And the Red Sox have picked up another unearned run. And now grab the lead 6-4. And Jenkins is beside himself at his defense, and as he should be. Here's Rico Carty, bases loaded still, 2 outs. Carty, this time we're off the defense finally. Got a 10, which is in play. In play 81, that'll take care of it. In play 81's an out, which 81's a ground ball to short. So the inning is finally over. But the Indians pick up another unearned run thanks to 3 consecutive infield errors. And we go to the bottom of the 4th. It's the Indians 6 and the Red Sox 4. All right, Eckersley steps to the mound, hoping his defense will fare better than Red Sox defense did. And Rick Burleson is up. The Rooster Burleson, 1 for 2. Single, run scored, and a strikeout. 9. 9 is Patient. And we got an 81. Patient 81 is way out of range. 81's a fly to center. So Burleson will fly out to Rick Manning in center for out number 1. And that brings up Denny Doyle. Denny Doyle singled his last time up. It's a 10. 10 is Wheelhouse. And we get a 23. Denny Doyle, Wheelhouse. 23 is a base hit. 10 to 30 is a single, so Denny Doyle gets himself another hit. And now here's Jim Rice. And remember, in Fenway, the game's never over. Here's Rice. He's already got a triple in this game. 9. 9 is Patient. And a 12. Patient and a 12. Patient and 12 is a walk. So Jim Rice draws a walk. Not what Eckersley wanted. When you got a lead, you don't want to give guys free bases. And now with 1 out and 2 on, it's Yaz. He's 0 for 2. He's one of the few that hasn't gotten into the hit parade yet. 3. 3 is Tough on Eckersley, and it's a 3. 3 and a 3. Tough and a 3. That is going to be a strikeout. So Yastrzemski strikes out for the second time in this game. And it's up to the boomer, George Scott. He does have a triple in this game. It's a 9. 9 is Patient, and it's a 58. Patient 58. Patient 58, he just missed it. 57 would have been a hit by pitch. 58 is going to be a fly out to the right fielder, Jim Norris, to end the inning. So nothing doing for the Red Sox here in the 4th. We've played 4 complete. It's Cleveland 6, Boston 4. All right, Andre Thornton to lead things off. As Ferguson Jenkins hoping for better defense here. We get a 5 and a 63. A 5 is Patient, and a 63 Patient is a walk. He did find the walk. So Andre Thornton, leadoff walk. And not what Jenkins had in mind here. That'll bring up Bill Melton, the third baseman. Melton's 0 for 2. We got a 7. 7 is Tough. And we have a 28. Tough 28 is a strikeout. So Melton out on strikes. And that'll bring up Buddy Bell. Buddy Bell. 1 out, 1 on. Buddy Bell. Bell, a 7 is Tough, and it's a 9. That's not good for Buddy. A Tough number 9 is a strikeout. So 2 away. And that will bring up catcher Ray Fosse. So maybe Jenkins has gotten things back in order here. 5. 5 is Patient. 88. Patient 88. 88 is going to be a ground ball to the shortstop, Burleson. And since it's a 5, it's under the double play rating of both. So it's not going to be a double play, but it will be a fielder's choice. So it'll be a 6-4 as they get Thornton sliding into second to end the inning. But nothing doing for the Indians here in the 5th. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Still Cleveland 6, Boston 4. All right, Eckersley taking the mound here in the bottom of the 5th, facing Bernie Carbo. Carbo has homered and struck out. Feast or famine. It is 8. 8 is Tough, and it's a 29. Tough 29. He's going to strike out again. So another strikeout for Carbo. He is retired. That'll bring up Dewey Evans. He's 2 for 2. A double and a single for Dwight Evans. We get an 8. An 8 is Tough and a 67. Tough 67 is going to be another strikeout for Eckersley. He is rolling those tough rolls now and getting the benefits of the strikeouts. And that'll bring up Carlton Fisk with 2 outs and the base is empty. 6. 6 is in play, but it's an 85. In play 85 is out of range. 85 is a ground ball to the shortstop, Duffy. And it's a 1-2-3 inning. And don't look now, but Eckersley has retired the last 5 batters he has faced. So we played 5 complete. Here at Fenway, it's Cleveland 6 and Boston 4. Okay, top of the 6th, in case you're curious about fatigue. Both pitchers have an 8 fatigue rating, so they can pitch 7 complete without getting fatigued. But once they hit the 8th inning, they do become fatigued because they've given up so many runs. So most likely they're just going to go 7, and then the bullpen will have to take over. So here is Frank Duffy Number 9 hitter to start things off. We got an 8. 8 is in play. In play number 2. And in play 2 for Duffy is a double. So Duffy gets his first hit of the game. A leadoff double from the number 9 hitter. And that brings up Rick Manning, and the Red Sox bullpen may begin to stir again. It's a 12. 12 is ballpark, and a 47. 47 is going to be in the wheelhouse. So we'll check Manning for his wheelhouse check. 1-19 would be a homer for Manning. He gets a 12. It is a home run. Rick Manning, a 2-run shot. And that's going to be all for Fergie. Ferguson Jenkins is going to finally be lifted. He had a rough outing, to say the least. Now, some of it was the defense's doing, but some of it was his own doing. So we'll be back with a new pitcher right after this. Okay, we're back. We can close the book on Jenkins. 5+ innings, 7 hits, 8 runs, 4 were earned. Walked 2, struck out 4, gave up 2 home runs. New Boston pitcher is Bob Stanley. He's going to try to help him do things right. And he'll take over here in the top of the 6th with nobody out and nobody on for Dwayne Kuiper. So we've got a 5 for Stanley, and a 5 is in play, and an 85. In play 85 is going to be a grounder to short that Burleson will handle easily. 1 away. So Stanley off to a good start. That brings up Jim Norris. Norris, an 8. 8 off Stanley is in play. A 52. In play 52 is a fly ball to the right fielder, Jim Rice. So that's 2 away as Stanley tries to get some order into the ball game. He'll be facing the designated hitter Rico Carty. 1 for 3. Carty is 1 for 3. It's a 5, which is in play, and it's a 67. In play 67 is going to be a ground ball to Denny Doyle at second, and the inning is over. So Stanley comes in and gets 3 straight outs, but the Indians strike for 2 more here in the top of the 6th, thanks to a Rick Manning 2-run homer. And we go to the bottom of the 6th with the score: Cleveland 8 and Boston 4. All right, Dennis Eckersley starts the bottom of the 6th, the beneficiary of all these runs. And Butch Hobson leads things off. Number 9 hitter, he's 0 for 2. It's a 6. 6 is in play, and it's a 36. In play 36 is just out of range. 36 will be a pop-up to the third baseman, Melton. So there's 1 away. And that'll take us back to the top of the order and Rick Burleson. Burleson's 1 for 3 with a strikeout, a single, and a run scored. It's a 7. 7 is tough. Tough 93. 93 is a fly ball to left fielder Buddy Bell. 2 away. And that brings up Denny Doyle. You kind of get the feeling the Red Sox are in trouble here. They scored 4 in the first and haven't done anything since. Doyle, a 4. 4 is in play, and a 44. In play 44 is out of range. 44 is a ground ball to Melton. And the inning's over, 1, 2, 3. And for Eckersley, he has now retired 8 in a row since walking Jim Rice in the 4th. So we've completed 6 here at Fenway. It's still Cleveland 8 and Boston 4. All right, top of the 7th, Bob Stanley back out. He'll be facing Andre Thornton. It's a 4. 4 is defense. So we're going to look at the defensive chart here under number 26. Defense. 26 is the range of the left fielder, the range of Yastrzemski. Yastrzemski is range factor C. So we go to the ballpark chart, range factor C, 1 to 41. So 1 to 41 will be a hit. Anything else will be an out. It's a 66, so Yastrzemski will make the play. 1 away as Yastrzemski gets under it. No problem to retire Thornton. And that brings up the third baseman, Bill Melton. Melton, a 4. 4 is a defensive check again. And this time it's a 46. So the defensive check for 46 is an error rating on George Scott. That's not too good. Remember, he had an error last time. And Scott is an error rating of 1, which means a 1 to 79 will be an error. So George Scott very likely to make his second error of the ball game. And he does. It's an error. Let's roll to see if it's a 1-base error or a 2-base error. It's an 11 on the error chart. An 11 error, first base is a 1-base error. So Bill Melton will reach on George Scott's second error of the game. That's error number 4 on the Red Sox in this ball game. So obviously having fielding issues. And here's Buddy Bell. 0 for 3. Buddy has not gotten a hit yet. A little bit unusual the way the hits have been coming in this game. 7 is tough. He might be in trouble again. It's a 90. Tough 90. 90 is a ground ball to short. And we could get a double play because the 2D6s are a 7. Stanley's double play rating is a 10. Buddy Bell's double play rating is a 7. 7 is equal to or less than both of those. So we have a double play. 6-4-3 to end the inning. And we go to the 7th inning stretch. Score still, Cleveland 8 and Boston 4. Okay, bottom of the 7th, probably Eckersley's last inning. I'm going to refrain from singing the 7th inning stretch, Take Me Out to the Ball Game song. I think I did that one time, but I think I'm just going to leave it to the professionals. So I'll leave it to Steve Tower and his ukulele. So here we go here for the bottom of the 7th. Jim Rice stepping to the plate. Trying to get something off of Eckersley. It's a 3. That's in the tough range. That's not going to help. It's a 40. Tough 40 is a strikeout. So Eckersley cranks up another one. Another whiff. And there's one away for Yastrzemski. And this is the heart of the order. The Red Sox chance to make hay is right now. Here's Yastrzemski. He's 0 for 3. He hasn't found the hit parade yet. It's an 8. 8 is tough. Eckersley found that tough again. 33, tough 33, and this time Yastrzemski will get himself a base hit. 25 to 39 is a base hit, so Yastrzemski, a 1-out single, brings up the boomer, George Scott. So if he can get into one, all of a sudden we'd have a ball game again. Here's the boomer. It's a 7. 7 is tough, and it's an 82. Tough 82 is a ground ball to short. Doesn't look good because Eckersley, well, take that back. It's a 7 here, but Eckersley only has a 6 double play rating, so George Scott is going to hustle and beat the relay throw. It's just going to be a fielder's choice, 6-4. But Scott will be at first base with 2 outs. Yastrzemski is forced. And that'll bring up Bernie Carbo, and of course Carbo did homer his first time up back in the first inning. See if we can do it again. 10. 10 is wheelhouse. He just might. 10 is a wheelhouse, and it's a 34. Wheelhouse 34, he has done it again. Bernie Carbo, his second home run of the ball game, a 2-run shot for Carbo. And just when you thought the Red Sox were finished, they put up a 2 spot so far, and it's now 8-6. As Eckersley is going to try to sneak out this inning here. He needs one more out. Got to get Dwight Evans. Bullpen is active. 9. 9 is patient. 36. Patient 36 is a walk. So Dwight Evans will walk. And that's going to be it for Eckersley. They're not going to take any chances here. Jeff Torborg is going to go to his bullpen. So we'll be right back with the new Cleveland pitcher. Okay, we closed the book on Eckersley. 6 2/3, 11 hits, 6 runs all earned, walked 3, struck out 10, gave up 2 homers. And new pitcher is going to be Jim Kern, the righty. So Jim Kern is on. He'll be facing Carlton Fisk with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th. Base is empty. I'm sorry. Evans is at first. He just walked. So Fisk is up with 1 on and 2 out. And we have an 8. 8 is patient and a 51. Patient 51. Patient 51, and that's a walk. So Fisk will walk. So Jim Kern comes in and walks Carlton Fisk. Puts 2 on with 2 outs for number 9 hitter Butch Hobson. Butch Hobson, the batter. Chance to get the Red Sox closer. We got an 8. An 8 is patient. And we have a 27. Patient 27 And Patient 27 is a base hit. Base hit for Hobson. A base hit by Hobson. But since it's under the Patient, it's only going to be a 1 base advancement. So that will load the bases. Bases are loaded now with 2 outs for top of the order and Rick Burleson. So Jim Kern has not done what the Indians hoped he was going to do. Here's Burleson. It's a 5. 5 is tough. Tough 73. Tough 73 is a fly out to center. And the inning is over. So, Red Sox get 2 runs on the board to get closer. And after 7 complete, it's the Indians 8 and the Red Sox 6. All right, Bob Stanley back out there. He's been pitching well in relief. He's got a 8 long fatigue rating, so he's a long man. He can go for several innings. So Ray Fosse, the batter, he starts at the top of the 8th. The Indians thought they were going to cruise, but now they got a ball game on their hands. It's an 11, which is Patient. Patient 20. Fosse, Patient 20 is a base hit. So Ray Fosse, lead-off single as the hit parade keeps coming. Here's Frank Duffy. Duffy, it's an 11. 11 is Patient. Patient 54. Duffy, Patient 54 is out of range. 54 is a fly ball to the right fielder, Jim Rice. For out number 1. So Duffy is retired. And that brings up Rick Manning. Manning, a 4. 4 is defense, another defensive check, and it's a 22. So defense 22 is going to be a range check of Burleson at short. Rick Burleson is a range rating of C. So a range rating of C means a 1 to 41 is going to be a base hit. 1 to 41 will be a hit. It's a 24, so it is a hit. It is a base hit. Let's check here and see if it's what kind of advancement we're going to get via the D6. So that's a 4. So let's look at runner advancement. The hit went to the shortstop. Hit went to the shortstop, and the D6 was a 4. That's going to be a single with 1 star. So it's a 1 base advancement. 1 base advancement for Fosse, the catcher, as Manning reaches and Fosse goes to second. 2 on, 1 out for Dwayne Kuiper. Dwayne Kuiper. It's a 10. 10 is Patient. 10 is Patient, and we got a 13. Patient 13 is a walk. So now the bases are loaded, and Stanley may need relief. With the lefty Norris coming up, it looks like they're going to go to the bullpen. Don Zimmer is motioning down there. So we'll be right back with the new Red Sox pitcher. All right, new Red Sox pitcher is left-hander Tom House. The lefty will be facing the lefty Jim Norris. Lefty on lefty matchup. It's a 4. 4 is wheelhouse, unfortunately, and it's a 38. Norris against a lefty. A 38 is out of range while he's facing lefty or righty, so 38 will go to the out range. It's a ground ball to first. That's to George Scott. And with a lead die of 4, that's a double play. So George Scott able to turn it 3-6-3. 3-6-3 double play. And the Red Sox get out of that mess without allowing a run. So Tom House comes in and does his job. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Score still. Indians 8 and Red Sox 6. All right, Jim Kern starts out the bottom of the 8th facing Denny Doyle. It's a 2. 2 is in play, and it's an 8. In play 8 is a base hit for Denny Doyle. So Denny Doyle starts things off with a base hit, and the Indians bullpen again is working as Dave LaRoche, the lefty, is loosening down there. All right, here's Jim Rice. Tying run at the plate. It's a 54 for your D10s, and it's a 5 for the D5s, for the D6s rather. 5 is tough. 54 tough. 54 tough is a strikeout. So just when we think Kern's in trouble, he comes up with a strikeout. And that brings up Yaz, Carl Yastrzemski. We get a 5 again, which again is tough, and 28. Tough 28. Yastrzemski fights it off with a base hit. So Yastrzemski, base hit. Since it's off the tough category, Doyle will only go one base. Runners at first and second now for the Boomer, George Scott. This could be the at-bat of the ball game right here. It's a 7. 7 is tough for Kern. And 38. Tough 38. Tough 38 is a strikeout for Boomer. So now there's 2 away. And now we got Bernie Carbo, who's hit 2 home runs in the ball game. So can he make it a trifecta? We shall see. Jim Kern with the toss. It's an 8. And an 8 is patient, and it's a 15. Patient 15's a walk. So that will load the bases. That will load the bases with 2 outs for Dwight Evans. And this is going to be the last batter Kern's going to face, I believe. If he doesn't get Evans here, he's probably done. Bases loaded, 2 outs. It's a 3. 3 is defense, and it's a 71. Defense 71 is an error check on the third baseman, Melton. Melton, as a third baseman, is a error 2. Error 2 is a 1 to 67. So it's a good chance. There's a good chance we could have an error here. And we do. It's a 16, so that's an error. We're going to roll the 2d6s to see if it's a 1-base error or a 2-base error. It's a 6. A 6 says it's a 1-base error. So everybody's going to move up a base. It's now an 8-7 game on the E5. First error of the game by the Indians as they feel the wrath of the faulty fielding. Unearned run, first unearned run of the game for the Red Sox, is now 8-7. And Carlton Fisk, the batter. Carlton Fisk. Kern's going to give it one more shot because that really wasn't his fault. That was a defense. He's facing Fisk. It's a 6. 6 is tough. Tough 96. Tough 96 is a fly to left, and the inning is over. But the Red Sox do pick up another run, and we go to the 9th with the score. Cleveland 8, Boston 7. All right, top of the 9th, and with 3 right-handers coming up for the Indians, the Red Sox are going to go to Bill Campbell, the righty. Tom House pitched through to one batter to turn a double play, so he certainly did his job, but they want him facing lefties, not righties. So here's Rico Carty to start the 9th against Campbell. It's an 8 and a 22. An 8 and a 22. 8 is tough. Tough 22 is a strikeout. So Bill Campbell, the closer for the Red Sox, comes in. Not a safe situation since it's at the top of the 9th and without a lead. So here's Andre Thornton, but he's trying to keep it close. Give his team a chance in the 9th. So 39 on the D10s and a 10 on the D6s. That's tough. Tough 39 is another strikeout. So Campbell has come in and struck out the first 2 he has faced, and that'll bring up third baseman Bill Melton. With 2 outs and the base is empty. Melton without a hit. It's an 8. 8 is tough for Campbell, and it's a 57. Melton, tough 57. He gets his hit finally. He gets a single, so Bill Melton finally joins the hit parade. 2-out single brings up Buddy Bell. Buddy Bell. So 54 on the D10s and an 8. 8 is tough. 54 on the tough is a base hit for Buddy Bell. So Campbell's putting tough pitches in there, but the Indians hitters are fighting them off. Back-to-back base hits. Since that was off the tough range, it is only a 1-base advancement. Here is Ray Fosse. It's an 11. 11 is defense, and it's a 73. So we go back to the defensive chart again, which has not been kind to the Red Sox. 73. 73 is an error rating on the shortstop Burleson, and he is an error rating of 3. So we go to Fenway again, number 3, and we're looking at a 1 to 51. A 1 to 51 will be an error. It's a 6, so it is an error. So let's check the kind of an error. It's a 3, so I believe that's a one-base error. Let's double-check that. Yes, it is. A 3 is a one-base error. So it's a one-base error on Burleson, his second error of the game. 5th error on the Red Sox. Has now loaded the bases with 2 outs. After getting 2 quick outs, now the bases are loaded thanks to 2 singles and an error, and that brings up Frank Duffy. Duffy, that's a 6. 6 for Campbell is tough. Tough 83. A tough 83 will be a grounder to short, and the inning is over. So bottom of the 9th, last chance for the Red Sox. Score is Cleveland 8 and Boston 7. And we'll be back with the new pitcher for the Indians. All right, close the book on Kern. Inning in the 3rd, 3 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, and a strikeout. And closer Dave LaRoche is in for the Indians to try to seal the deal here. He'll be facing Butch Hobson, then the top of the order, Burleson and Doyle. Possibly a pinch hitter for Doyle. So we get 7. 7 is tough on LaRoche, and it's a 56. So against a lefty, tough is still a strikeout for Hobson. So 1 away, and that brings up Rick Burleson. Rick Burleson, the batter. It's a 6 and a 28. A 6 is tough. Tough 28 against a lefty is a strikeout. So LaRoche has come in and struck out the first 2 he has faced. And now we're down to Denny Doyle, but I believe we're going to have a pinch hitter, so we'll be right back with the new Red Sox hitter. All right, new Red Sox pinch hitter is Steve Dillard. He is their second baseman when he faced left-handed pitching. He did hit .260 against lefties on the season, so that's why he's in there to pinch hit. See if he can't get something started here against LaRoche, who struck out the first 2 he's faced. It's an 11. 11 is ballpark. And that's a 36, so that's going to be wheelhouse, I do believe. That most certainly is going to be a wheelhouse. So Dillard off the wheelhouse. If he hits a 1 through an 11, he will tie the ball game. It's a 29. 29, he does get a base hit. So Dillard keeps the ball game going with a pinch hit single, a 2-out pinch hit single. And that keeps it going for Jim Rice. So Jim Rice, last chance for the Red Sox. It's an 88 on the 2D10, so that's not good. 7. 7 is tough. 88. Tough 88 is a ground ball to short, and the ball game is over. The Cleveland Indians. The Cleveland Indians have held on opening day to beat the Red Sox by the final score of 8-7. We'll be right back with the totals. All right, a very unusual line score here. The Cleveland Indians, 8 runs, 11 hits, 1 error. Boston Red Sox, 7 runs, 15 hits, and 6 errors. 6 errors. You heard that right. That was not a misspeak. That was 6 errors. 2 of those errors by the shortstop, Rick Burleson. 2 errors by the first baseman, George Scott. 1 error by the third baseman, Butch Hobson, and 1 error by the pitcher, Ferguson Jenkins. So 6 errors. I think that's probably a record for me, as far as I know, to get 6 errors like that. But the Red Sox had their issues with the fielding, and unfortunately for them, they rolled a lot of fielding checks. Winning pitcher was Dennis Eckersley. He went 6 2/3, got the win. Dave LaRoche, the lefty, got the save. Ferguson Jenkins took the loss. So that's going to do it from here. Opening day here in 1977. I'm not replaying the season or anything. It's just I just did a one-off game. Since it's at World Series time, I thought I would go back to the beginning. And since the Indians are in the World Series, I thought I'd pick a season from the Indians that I had for Payoff Pitch, and 77 fit that bill. And their opening day game was in Fenway against the Red Sox, and they came out victorious by the final score of 8-7. Hope everybody enjoys the rest of the World Series, and I'll see everybody down the road.